Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be talking about I'll be continuing my Teams related sessions. I have already covered 2 or 3 Teams related videos already, so I would be continuing that series and talking about the workflows. So today we have some work. I'll be talking about a workflow which is about approval of a document once it's added to a SharePoint site. So here you can see there's an approval workflow which I'm able to see in front of me, where I'm getting an email or a message that says I have to approve this particular documents so that it can be added to the SharePoint site. So how I created this flow, what it is, and other details, I'll be explaining that to you on how workflow was created. I've explained the same in this article, start an approval when a file is added to SharePoint. This is there are 2 ways of doing it. The first way of doing it is through a Power Automate. So I've explained it how you can do it with Power Automate. And the second way of doing it is through the Teams workflow. So I've explained both of them. Both of them would have the nearly similar process of approving, so you would be able to get the similar kind of email. And there are some considerations which is there in both of them, which you can definitely look at. The most important consideration I would like you to do is the user who's going to perform that approval should have a full rights or a design permission. This is very important because I in past was able to create a workflow for a similar thing, but that user did not had a design or a full permission, so he was not able to approve the items unless you are having a design or a full permission on that particular, or approval permission on that particular document library or a site. You would not be able to perform this, or this workflow would not work for you. I've done that in past. I tried to demonstrate in past, so I thought it's good that we should be aware of this particular piece of information. This is very important for you to know. Okay, so how do I go about creating this flow? It's very simple. What I need to do is I open up my Teams. I'll be showing it the Teams process. I would not be going through the process of how you can do that in the in Power Automate. There are tons of videos which are demonstrating the same, but I would want to. There is very less videos on how this can be done using the workflow templates in Teams. So I will be demonstrating the same. So how do we do about it is we go to a Teams site. Okay. Once we are in Teams, we have left hand side, we go to this 3 dots and we are able to see an option that says workflows. Over here, I would be able to see all the workflows that I have created for myself. I have created for my site. So I would be getting all the workflows that I need to follow. I just disable this. This is the one which I created yesterday. So this workflow takes a little time to trigger and show, which is why I wanted to make sure that it's working, the process is perfectly fine the way I wanted it. So I'll be disabling this workflow now, and I'll be creating the same workflow. So I create new workflow on the right hand side top corner, and once I create the flow, I select this particular template, which is start an approval when a file is added to SharePoint site. You can see this that this option is available right in the front of us in the first 6 top workflows, which means this is one of the most famous flows that is used, or the most used flow in the whole of flows templates that is available with Microsoft. So I say start a flow when a file is added to SharePoint. YouTube demo, I just name it a little different for us to understand. And sign in, this is the basic app which it is going to use. It's going to use the user's permission, it's going to use the approval permission, it's going to use the Microsoft Teams because it has to add something to the Teams, which I just showed you in the chat. Then it would be needing of Outlook, because so that it can send an email receives, and it would need permissions on the SharePoint site, which we are going to perform this action on, which is why I said that you need minimum of full or design or approval permission on the particular site or document library we'll be working upon. Once we do this, we hit next. Over here, which I can just say which site I want to monitor or where this particular action should be performed to. So I have this particular site, which is Project Falcon UX test. I copy the name. I just need the name. I don't need the whole URL. If you have the URL, You can use a URL as well, or you can just use the name of the particular site. I use the name of the site for so that it is much easier for me. The list I want to monitor, there's only one particular document library which is available, so I'm going to use that. If there are multiple document libraries in that site, you would be getting that in the drop down as well. So I select that. If you want to monitor a specific folder in that document library, then you can select that as well. I don't think so I have any folders per se. Yeah, there are some folders in it, but I'm not going to select, like for example, this is a document library. There's a forms folder in it. There's nothing else other than that. So I don't want to select the folder. And now this is the most important part. Who would be performing the approval? Now in this case, I would be making sure that I am myself the owner of this flow, and I can do that. Let me also show you what happens when a non-owner also is added. So for example, this user Alan, who is actually not an owner of that particular document library, I'm going to add this particular user Alan D to the flow as well. So I select Alan D as an approver of that particular item, and I select create flow. Now this is very important. Once we are done with this, I've added two different owners, two different approvers. So two different approvers can approve this item, but let's see what happens when I add an item to that particular document library. So I go ahead and I'm done with this flow. This flow is now created. I can go ahead in Teams, or actually not in Teams, but I can just go ahead and workflows in Teams, and over here I can see this, whether this is running or not running. I can confirm that. Yeah, this is running, and I see that all of them, I am the co-owner, I am the owner or co-owner, whatever you can say. And there's no Teams or channel which is linked to it, because this is an independent flow, and this is an automated flow, so I do not have to really go ahead and run this all the time. I can see all the run history over here. I can see there's a run history over here as to what happened when it did run and what happens when it run. So if you see this one, this is last when it last executed, last when it was run, and you could see that there was an item that was for each item there was an email that was sent, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I should be able to see that detail. See, this is saying this is a type, this is an email message. So I'm able to see that kind of information in this flow. Okay, so this just ran for one particular item, which is what it's showing me. Okay, and do I see any information over here? No, nothing. So there's no approval that has happened, so no information in that. Okay, and it's waiting for approval. I can confirm that it is not currently approved. It is currently waiting on approval. Over here I can see that it is waiting on approval, and I have not done it. We can confirm that part as well. I'll just load, and I'm going now in Power Automate. So it's still using Power Automate in the background, because that's the whole flow which gets done. So this is the approval process, and this is where the Power Automate is. I'll go back to this, and I can say this is saying that it is pending on someone to take an action. I will perform an approval on this, and we'll just refresh and see what happens with this. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and enable this as well to make sure that in case if this execute, because this is running on the same list. Okay, so I just hit refresh over here once, and once I'm doing the refresh, I will go back to my document. This is the document library where I have set up the flow, and I select upload document. I say upload file, and okay, I am there now. I've selected the file which I want to upload. I select this particular file which I should be able to upload. I select that particular file, and I have uploaded the file. Now the upload action is upload action has been done, and I can see that this new file which I've added is available for me to be view, and this is added. I can see that version history. You can confirm that this was just now added, and I hit just a basic refresh. Okay, now as I said already, it takes a little time for the flow to run, and I did not wanted you all to wait for that approval flow to run and to you to be able to see those actions. So what I've done is I've already done it in past. This is how you will get an email. There are two places you'll get a notification on. This is one, an email. The second is you'll also get a notification in the flows. So let's come here. Oh, I think I already got a notification. See, yeah, that was very fast. This was pretty fast. Last time it took a little time. This one was very fast. So I got a notification that says you need to approve this action. But did my other user also get a notification? Let's check that. Okay, this user also got a notification. Now, why this user got a notification is because this user was added by the MOD admin, which is the admin who had an approval rights. So I, as an approver, was able to delegate my rights to a different user, and then he was able to perform that right. So if I now go ahead from that user account and perform an approve action, and I say approved by Alan, and I hit submit, this will work and this will not give me any problems. And I would see this item being approved from my side. Okay. And over here, I can just reconfirm, and you get a message that says this item was approved by Alan. So you don't need to take a specific action on this. Okay. I got this message pretty simple, pretty straightforward, very smooth to go. But I would like to try the same thing or a similar thing using a different process. Now, if I create the same flow using a different account which did not have permissions, this would not work for me. Okay, so I will do one thing. This is, I will create a new document library. And I would say this document library as a blank, say by Alan. Now, if I go ahead and I create this flow, because Alan does not actually have rights to create flows or do these things. So we'll go to, so Alan does not have rights to perform these actions. So I now go ahead and perform the same actions by, I also got an email and it says you have already completed this request. This is good. So now I can, if I refresh, I would be able to see. Okay, I do not have permissions. Yes, that's what I was telling you. I do not have all the permissions on this side. Now, if I go ahead from my teams and create this item as an approval, let's see what happens. Okay, I go ahead to workflow. And it'll take a little time. Give me a minute. Okay, and I see I had created this flow as well for the same site. I'm going to disable this for now, and I create a new flow. I select the same process, start as an approval, and I select YouTube demo 2. Okay, and I hit next. And now I go ahead and select the site. Now, if you notice, I'll show you something. If you notice, I am going to copy the URL. There's a reason I'm doing that, is because I am trying to force it to search that particular site. This user does not have permission on the site. This is giving me, I am not able to search that site. In my case, in the other case, previously I showed you that I was able to search that site. In this case, I'm not able to do that. See, I'm not able to do it, but I'm going to force it. I'm going to force it to do it. Okay. So I'll just select a custom value. Okay, I select this. Now it's gonna ask me about two list libraries. I select by Alan. Okay, and I select again two different approvers. One is going to be mod, which is my admin, and then I'm going to select Alan. See, Alan D. Okay, and I select create flow. Same process I followed, but this time what I did is I made sure that the item or the flow is created by a different user, by a user who actually does not have permissions on that document library. Okay, so now I go ahead and upload a same file. I uploaded the same file, and if I hit refresh, it'll take a little time, again a minute or two, and let's see what happens. Do I get any notification or not? I'm waiting. I'll also keep monitoring my emails if I get any email. No emails. This is the old one, which is 1223, old email. I'll mark this as read just to make sure this doesn't confuse us. See, even if I wait for 15-20 minutes, I would not get this email. So the reason I am demonstrating this particular part of the demo about workflows permission, because if Alan would have been able to create this flow, then this is a security breach which is going to happen. Why this is a security breach? Because he would be able to monitor a list even if he does not have permission on that list or library or the site. He just got to know about a site and he is able to monitor the site and contents even though he does not have a permission on that list or site. This is a very important point I am covering, which you would not see in any other video, any other, this part is not explained anywhere else, which is why I wanted to demonstrate it. I wanted to show it on live to you guys, and I wanted to explain, and I have already highlighted this in my article as well, so you get a little idea about it. Okay, so even if I wait for 10-15 minutes, this is not gonna come, and I'm not gonna get any workflow notifications to approve or reject anything. Okay, so hope this will help you all if you're creating flows, if you're working with flows, and if you're working with specifically this particular flow. Have a great day ahead. Please subscribe, comment, and like. Have a great day ahead. Bye. Take care.